situation where we would have to be recruiting probably 20%, 25% more police into the force, we will do it. It gives emotional wellness. When somebody takes a day off, spends that time with the family, it helps. It rejuvenates the person. Because I strongly believe that it should be done. And then, God's grace, today we're implementing that. Please ensure that it is scrupulously followed. Pass a message to the lowest level of your department. Give them a break. Get in systems in place that it's scrupulously followed. The perception that police are biased, the perception that police are biased, especially this perception, especially if it is there in vulnerable sections, then I think we're doing a bad job. Especially these Dalits, these weaker sections, if these people develop this kind of a perception on police, then I think we utterly failed in our duty. Because these people have no voice. They're the poorest of the lot. These people have no voice. And if these people, if they feel that police are biased, then that is something that we need to seriously ponder. That is one thing what I ask you to just give it a little bit of thought. There in those sections, perception should change. In the police department also, have a reception area. Let's engage, even if it's going to mean recruiting people, we will recruit people. Have somebody in the front section. The moment somebody comes into the police department, let it be a reception area with a wonderful smile, receiving the complainant. It should be done. When somebody comes to lodge a complaint, it's out of distress that they're coming. And it's not that, we are doing them a favor by taking the complaint. We are rendering our service. So it's very important that, you receive them well. With a smile, the receptionist receives them. Have them seated. Then a police comes. How do you see in the Western world? A police comes, talks to them, understands them, then files the case. These kind of mechanisms should have to come in place. I think all of you are youngsters, I think you can bring about this change, this transformation what was never there before. And I think Gautam Anna also is wanting to bring about change, so I think they should be attempted. Friendly police. It's very important. And yesterday while I was conversing with the collectors, I was mentioning about district portals. The district portals should document copies of FIRs, licenses, permissions given. All of these also should be made available in the district portals. the DPOs, the SDPOs, circle officers, SHOs should all be linked to this district portal, e-government system to ensure speed and transparency. Now, when we have, two things will happen by showing this kind of transparency. One, it will mount pressure on us to expedite the disposal of these cases. That's good. Two, it will showcase transparency. Now, both these things are very important. Another important thing what I advise the SPs to do is have a gauge of citizens' satisfaction. Every police department, whichever areas they are, whichever jurisdictions they come under, just gauge how the SIs are performing, how CIs are performing, how DSPs are performing, how ASPs are performing. In that area, just conduct a third-party citizen gauge, third-party inquiries, so that you get feedback whether that CI is corrupt, whether that SI is corrupt, whether that DSP is corrupt. See, we at the top level decide to be non-corrupt. 50% of corruption is gone. Then the other 50% is, how do we curtail corruption at that stage? That's the 50%. That's the steps what we need to take. So have a gauge. Take periodical inquiries. Why do we just believe somebody who says I'm not corrupt? You don't know how the SI is performing, how the CI is performing, how the DSP is performing. We just hear news and then we take decisions. Because that guy is sweet to us, because that guy speaks to us well, we presume that this guy is good. We don't know. Conduct a third-party inquiry. Gauge the perception from the people. How is this CI? How is this SI? You know for yourself. Then you can take a call. Shift him out, not to shift him out. Ask for somebody to be shifted out, not ask for somebody to be shifted out. These are the options, choices what you would have with more on scientific basis. Not out of whims and fancies, but more on scientific grounds. Take feedback from the victims, take feedback from the citizens on behavior of the officer, speedy disposal of cases by the officer, fairness of the officer, and all such parameters, what would actually improve. Then the response time. Now, I was just telling yesterday, every level, mandal level to district collector level, in their respective offices, conduct a grievance cell is what I was telling them. Where in that grievance cell conducted on Monday, we named it as Spandana. We asked the officers not only to conduct the grievance cells, but also take their telephone numbers and give them a receipt as to when we would be clearing their plea. That helps. And that receipt, I asked the collectors to randomly check if that receipt is being honored or not. Collectors also would be doing that. Giving a receipt on speedy disposal, saying that I would dispose in 15 days' time. I would dispose this case in 1 week's time. I would dispose this case in 3 days' time. Whatever time you think is right, mention it in the receipt, on the receipt. Then it is your duty to ensure that it happens. from the collector to the bottommost level. Then the collectors, when they go for inspection, surprise checks, meet the villagers, they can ask for the receipts. They say, has it been done or not? Have the timelines been met or not? It speaks something about the officer that you're dealing with. It speaks something about the credibility that is attached to this disposal mechanism. All that will happen if we can also bring about the same systems in place. No, it's something different. But when tried, it could send a strong message of credibility, of transparency, of speedy disposal. All three in place. I've asked the collectors to practice this. I would also request the SPs to bring it in place. It helps. Let there be, somebody goes to file a complaint. There is someone who receives them with a smile on their face. Somebody attends to them, takes their complaint, gives them a receipt, says that so and so matter would be disposed in so many days. There is a sense of confidence that, okay, I am well received, somebody is attending my job. It sends a strong signal. I think it will send a strong transformation signal.